Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. We made it to the end of the week. It's Friday. We got the markets at all-time record highs. All indexes are at an all-time record high. The Fed made their decision. They're going to taper a little bit. I thought we'd get a little bit of a taper tantrum. Boy, was I wrong on that one. We are in this crack-up boom, and we're heading higher. All-time record highs. Now, will this ever end? A lot of people tell me, no, this is going to go on forever. I think we've hit a record high 18 out of the last 19 days. Record high. That's great if you're in the market long. Okay, but let's talk about this. We've had a 13-year bull run, right? And we've had like 18 out of 19 days at a record high. I think we're getting close to the end here. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but we'll see what happens. What I'm going to talk about, though, is bubbles. Okay, now we know that the stock market's in a bubble, bond market's in a bubble, real estate market's in a bubble. Now, when one bubble comes to an end, the others usually follow. Okay, so I think that the top is in for real estate. I believe that. I think the top is in. Now, why do I think that? Okay, well, first we got the Evergrande situation in China, right? Okay, now that just kind of blew up in Evergrande's face because real estate is very leveraged. It's a debt product, and they had a lot of debt, and they couldn't make their payments on their bonds. Evergrande was not the only company, that developer in China. There was also Fantasia. Fantasia also blew up. So we got two of the largest developers in China blowing up. Now, I talked about Zillow in my last episode. Now, Zillow, they actually blow up also while they were buying houses. They were buying houses at the perfect time. Perfect time, because they started buying houses in 2019, and they've been doing it for a couple of years. Now, in that time, real estate has gone nothing like this. But how much money did they make? Well, they actually lost about $1.4 billion by buying these homes. Okay, now what if real estate was going like this? Well, I think the company would be completely out of business. But there's some things going on that point to record highs. Okay, let's talk about this one. This one's interesting. Okay, so Mark Andreessen, he recently bought a house on the cliff out in Malibu. Now, I love Malibu. Beautiful beach. And his house is a 10,000 square foot house right on the Malibu cliff. Now, he just recently closed this house for $177 million. $177 million. Now, is this a good time for him to buy this? Now, I get it. He's a billionaire. That's chump change. He's got houses all around, I'm sure. But anyways, $177 million. Now, that house that he bought for $177 million, the last owner, the previous owner, he bought it for $41 million. $41 million. He bought it in 2013, and he just sold it for $177 million. Now, what is that? I don't know, $135 million in profit or so, just for buying a piece of property. Now, he probably thinks he's really smart, the guy that did that. He goes, hey, I am a genius. I just made $135 million. Well, these things typically happen at the end of the bubble, at the end of the explosions higher. Okay, so the real estate market is very heated, but somehow Zillow still managed to lose $1.4 billion. Billion with a B. I do find that humorous. But okay, so we got the real estate market, and we got it topping out. All right. Now, what's really happening? Okay, so I'm a real estate broker, full disclosure. Now, what's happening is a lot of homes are falling out of escrow. People had put in offers to buy the homes, but yet they're not closing on the transaction because they get cold feet. They're starting to back out. Buyers are starting to go away. Now, just a few years back, when you put a home up for sale, when you put a listing on the market, there would be what I would refer to as the herd. We'd hold an open house on the first weekend, and that herd hundreds of people would come through all the time. I would get call after call. But now that herd has gone away. When you get a new listing and you put it on the market, you're sitting there thinking, oh, it's going to sell. It's going to sell. This is great. I'm going to get paid. Not so quick. The herd is gone. The herd is left. Okay, yeah, maybe you get 1, 2, 3, 4 people come look at it, and maybe you get lucky and you get that one buyer. But what we got right now is a lot of price improvement, Now, that's what us brokers call when we have to reduce the price because we listed it too high. It did not sell. We have a price improvement and the price comes down. Okay, now pending home sales are starting to decline now. They dropped I don't know, 2 or 3% is all, but they're starting to decline. Prices starting to decline. Okay, the median home price was up at $370,000. It's come down. It's come down about $20,000 down to around $352,000. Houses falling out of escrow, the herd disappearing, pending home prices going down. Now, why is all this happening? Well, it's happening for several reasons. Okay, so we had the eviction moratorium. That's come to an end. We had the mortgage forbearance. That's come to an end. Now, the Fed just announced that they're cutting back they're cutting back on the purchase of mortgages. Now, right now, they buy $40 billion. That's a minimum number. If the house market starts to fall, I believe they will continue to buy more than $40 billion, but they say they're going to cut it by $5 billion. This is every month. They're going to only buy $35 billion this month worth of mortgages. So interest rates are starting to creep up. Now, when interest rates creep up, the house prices come down. We're creeping up. We're at 3.2%. So, okay, now you got all these things being taken away. Now, some cities have actually, they've instated rent control. Okay, certain cities have voted in rent control where they can only raise rents by 2 or 3% a year. Now, does this make you want to be a landlord? Does this make you want to go out and buy rental property to rent to people when you can only go up 2 or 3% a year? That's called rent control. And some cities are bringing that in to make up for, the eviction moratorium being over. They don't want landlords to start to gouge tenants, so they put in these rent control. Now, as a broker, I think rent control is a bad thing. I'm always in favor of free markets. Now, what we have now is not a free market in any means of the word. It's controlled by the Federal Reserve. They control the interest rates. They control the purchasing of mortgages. They buy the $35 billion a month. Okay, now what's going to happen when the home prices start to drop? You see, they can't have this bubble pop because when this bubble pops, the stock market bubble pops, the bond bubble pops. So what's the Federal Reserve going to do? Well, nothing would surprise me at this point. Maybe they're going to actually start to buy homes. Would not surprise me if the Federal Reserve just went out and said, okay, no home can go down in value. We will buy the houses and they'll rent them back to you or something. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I do think the top is in for real estate. There's just too many things that have pointed to that we're at the top. Prices going down, pending home sales dropping, forbearance. Now the foreclosures, the forbearance is taken away and foreclosures are starting to go like this. Now the headline title is we're up 67%. Year over year, we are up 67%, but we're still at a small number. Right now, it's not that big of a number. It's like 25,000 a month are being foreclosed upon. 25,000 a month, but this is just the start. I think that number is going to get up to, I think it'll go over 100,000 a month, and those foreclosures will come onto the marketplace. This is marking the top here. Now, the fear of missing out that you used to have to buy a house right now. I have clients still. They just want to buy a house right now. They just want to buy, and I wish they'd be patient. Look at the fear of missing out. That trade is off the table. The real estate, the top is in. is this a good time to buy? Now, as a broker, I'm supposed to go, yeah, it's a great time to buy. Always great time to buy real estate. I'm saying no. Look, if you can wait 6 months to a year just to see how this plays out, I would use extreme caution right here. And this is just one bubble. And I would use extreme caution in the stock market right here also. The risk reward just isn't there. Now, I think the real estate market that we have put in the top. Now, have we put in the top in the stock market? It doesn't look like it yet, but I think we're getting closer to that top. Look, what are we at on the Dow? 36,000. Now, maybe we'll probably get to 40,000. And somewhere in between there, I think is where we're going to see the top in the stock market. You know, and I know a lot of people think that this is just the normal way. 13-year bull runs, 18 out of 19 days up, new records. A lot of people will tell me, hey, Mike, that's the new normal. We're just going to continue to print money to prop up all these markets. Now, you see, the problem with that is when you do the printing of money, yes, it props up the market, but it's like a drug addict. They need more of the heroin to get the same level of high. You see, right now we print, what, $4 or $5 trillion a year? Okay, to get the same effect, next year we're going to have to print 10 or 20 trillion dollars to get the same effect. Look, there's going to come a point of diminishing return where you print the trillions of dollars, but the markets start to go down. You print trillions of dollars more, and the markets start to go down. And they go, what we do now? Well, nothing you can do. At that point, you just watch it come in. So I would use caution here. That's just me. Of course, you do what you want to do your own research. But if you're looking to buy a house, hold off 6 months if you can. If you can. Now, I know everybody needs a place to live. I get that. And, everybody wants to own a home. They don't like to rent. There's nothing wrong with renting, let me tell you. Especially right now. Right now when we hit the top of the real estate market's in. And soon the top of the stock market's going to be in. So just use some caution. Now, if you like this stuff, give me that thumbs up. If you really like it, punch the subscribe button so we can talk again next week, so we can see what's going on in the markets. Give me the thumbs up. It's Friday. Get out there. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk again next week. Bye-bye now.